Hello, Bay Area. How's it going out there, guys? Hold on one second. Okay. I'm actually on time today. It's so every time I set up live streams in the past, I didn't understand when you're on your computer, you need this whole massive setup. And the first time I tried doing that, I realized my internet was too slow for that setup. And I had the webcam and I had all kinds of new gear. It was ridiculous. So then I started doing live on my phone because it's a hell of a lot easier. But I had scheduled this one, which I haven't done before, so I wasn't sure how that was going to work. But it actually worked out pretty well. And I was here early because I did not want to be late. Did not want to be late. So thank you guys for hanging out and showing up. Um, I want to try to be more consistent here on YouTube. I've been horrible in the past, and we'll talk about why. Hey, Melissa. I will be doing a video about this soon too. I think I'm gonna call it Spaz Mode Activated because it kind of explains me. I'm a little spazzy in my interests. I'm kind of all over the place. And because of that, I've really, really struggled here on YouTube. Um, hey girl. Hi. How are you guys doing? Um, okay, so YouTube, let's see. I have made a bunch of like false starts for probably about 10 years. I'm on, I'm off. I throw up a genealogy video, I jump back off. I throw up an art video, I jump back off. I throw up a history one, I throw up cake stuff. Like, I have such a hard time picking a lane and sticking in it because I have never been like that. I've fought against being that my entire life. I do not fit well in a box. I never have. False starts are okay. Thank you, Nathan. So this is where I've been stuck, right? So every time I watch other people on YouTube and they're talking about starting a channel, be passionate about your passions. Yes, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna kind of embrace everything. Bali, Massachusetts. Hello, home. Um, so every time I've watched other creators on YouTube and they're talking about how to get started and what to do and like behind the scenes stuff, are you and Dustin doing a podcast? Ooh, we'll touch on that in a little bit. Will you upload any at all this year? Yes, I will. I will. I'll explain what's going on. Again, I'll end up doing a video about this too soon. I think that'll be the first one that I put up. So yeah, anyways, I'd watch other creators and I'd see what they're doing and what they're up to. And they talk about how to get started. And everybody's like, pick a niche or niche. They all say it a different way, right? Pick one thing, pick one topic, excel at that one thing, share that one thing, talk about that one thing. And internally, the idea of talking about one thing week in and week out just makes me die a little bit inside. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not me. It's never been me. I've always been one of those people that liked tackling new things. I have things that I'm definitely into, but then there's things that I just like trying. Hello, Paulette. Hello, hello. So every time I watch these YouTubers and their suggestions about starting a channel, everybody says niche or niche down. They all say it different. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do a channel on cakes. So then I'd start making a cake video and I'd be happy with how it turned out. And then I'd post it and may I receive your permission to draw a picture of you? Sure, that'd be nice actually. I like seeing what other artists are up to. So I do a cake video, I'd post my cake video, hey Mike, and then I'd be trying to plan out what the next one was gonna be. And then while I'm trying to focus on a new cake video, my brain is like, I really wanna do history stuff. Do you still catch up with your ghost hunter family? I do, not everybody. I'm close to most of them still, but there's some I've lost contact with. So now I'm like, okay, I've decided I'm gonna do a cake channel, right? So I post a cake video and then the next week I'm like, okay, I need to do something else, cake related. But now my brain is on history related stuff and it wants nothing to do with cake stuff. And now I'm like, well, I decided I was gonna do a cake channel. How do I do a history thing and a cake channel? That doesn't make any sense. So then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do a cake channel, I'm gonna do a history channel. And then I'd make a history video and I throw that up. And then the next week comes, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do history. I need something history like. Um, and then I'd be like, I don't feel like doing either of those. I wanna do like an art video, I wanna do a travel video, or I wanna do this video or that video. I'm all over the place. So every time I would try to start with one topic, I would just go off the rails real quick. The history of cakes. I don't see what's wrong with the interests. So we'll listen to anything you want to talk about. Thank you. For the record, you're not alone. Hoarding art supplies. Oh my god, it's so bad. I've got so much stuff, it's not even funny. So that's where I've been just stuck. Like, I don't want to be stuck talking about one thing all the time. Hello, Rhode Island. And that has been a massive struggle for me with trying to get started here because I just can't pick one thing, and I don't want to pick one thing. So, hey Rob. Um, the funny thing about this is about a month ago, I put a poll up on all my social media. I think I put it up here. Might have just been social. It might not have been YouTube. You're a creative. Just do what you want to watch. Thank you. Thank you. Hey Greg, welcome. So I put a poll up about, not even a poll, I just threw up on social media. I was like, hey guys, what would you guys want me to share with you more if I do a YouTube channel? Like, what would you want me to talk about? And in my head, I'm like, everybody's gonna say ghosts. Like, I don't even know why I'm asking this question. Like, I know they're all gonna say ghosts. More ghosts, 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 all the time, 24/7 ghosts. And the crazy thing is you guys were just as spazzy as me because I got someone chiming in. They're like, I want genealogy. I want history. I want travel. I want to see more of your cake stuff. I want to see more of your art stuff. Have you been doing any more painting? Oh yeah, ghosts. And it was just like, I'm like, well, that didn't help at all because I was trying to narrow it down to one topic for this freaking channel that I keep getting stuck on. And when you ever make a video of your point of view with ghost hunters and share your super memories with us, I could possibly do that at some point. Have you ever thought of talking about history, taking cakes? I did that one time. I did a cake video for St. Patrick's Day. It was probably like 2 or 3 years ago now. And I had done a leprechaun hat. And in the middle, the frosting was rainbow. And hell no to karaoke, Greg. Not a chance. Not a chance. I hate karaoke. I'm one of those people that go and I feel embarrassed for the people singing. Like I can't. But yeah, I mixed cakes in genealogy really. What about exploring UFO? Oh god, the idea of UFOs scare the absolute freaking crap out of me. I can handle the idea of ghosts. If ghosts are people of the past, we deal with people every day. That doesn't scare me. Aliens are a whole another story. I don't know if I want to know. To be perfectly honest. I don't know if that would be for me. The candy corn cake, oh my god, it was my favorite one. My favorite one. All right, so when I asked you guys what you wanted to see more of, like I said, you were just as freaking spazzy and all over the map as I was, which I did not expect. I figured it'd be like ghost, 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 ghost. Oh yeah, history, genealogy. Instead, it was genealogy, it was painting, it was travel, it was ghosts, it was painting, it was cakes. You guys were just all over the map, and internally, it made me really happy because I was just like, wow, they're getting to know me for other things too. But then mentally, I'm like, well, this did not help because this did not narrow things down. And now I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with this channel because it just feels like when you're jumping from topic to topic, you feel like a complete and utter flake. But one topic feels like a jail sentence to me. Just, I don't want to do it. So that's where I've been really struggling, and that's why you guys will see me pop on with a video or two and then I just go silent for months to years. So then most recently, I put a poll up here and then Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and I asked you guys, do you prefer a one topic channel, one niche channel, or do you prefer multi-topic channels? And I figured this answer is gonna be overwhelmingly one topic. I was wrong again. So I was wrong with you guys on the topic front, and then I was wrong with you guys on the mixed front. It was overwhelmingly multi-topic. You guys want to see a bunch of things. So now I'm just kind of like, all right, one, they're into all the crap that I've been throwing at them for the last, I don't know, like 10 years. That's a good sign. And two, they're giving me permission to be a complete and utter spaz. The topic is you. Everybody keeps saying this, but I have a hard time wrapping my head around me being the thing. I've never been a huge ego person, so I have a hard time with that. I always feel like I have to be doing something and showing something and teaching something, and I like teaching things too. So that's the thing. So I'm finding. So I have a different topic every week. Painting the first week, paranormal the second, cakes the third. Snazz it up, spaz it up. Yes, I think I am gonna spaz it up. Ugh. Spazzy. I'm very good at that. um, I keep forgetting where it's going. Yeah, so you guys have just kind of been like, go for it, which is very scary in some ways because this is where I've been struggling forever. It's not egotistical, it's just that you're an interesting person. Thank you. It's not a spaz. A nerd is a better choice of words. It is. I'm a spazzy nerd. I don't mind being a spaz. Like, I think a lot of people see it as a bad thing. It's kind of like nerd. Some people call you nerd and some people be offended, but I'm not offended by that at all. Um, Toss topics and have each week. Stick to what you want. Stick with your interests. We'll support you with right. Thank you. Yeah, so I've just it's been a struggle town over here. And it's been really frustrating. Views will help you dial things in over time. Yes. Yes, yeah. I think the problem with that is I don't want to be the person that like chases whatever's popular on search. I really don't want to do that because I feel like what's different with me compared to most people just starting out here is that the people that I have here, you guys already know me. So it's not like I'm starting out with a channel that has 0 subscribers and I'm searching the search engine to try to figure out what's popular and what videos I should be doing to try to bring in all these people, right? I already get you guys. So I want to keep you entertained. I like to show you stuff that hopefully you'll be interested in. And if I pull in some new people along the way, that'd be cool too. But I think whatever your passion is, viewers will come. We support you, period. You can always change up when you want to discuss. This is true. Painting technique to use. I've been wanting to try the oil wet paint on. I can't really say that I have a specific technique because I've been out of painting for so long. I did the acrylic pours and I was just starting to get a grasp on that when COVID happened, and then I had to kind of I kind of had to bail to start some other stuff, unfortunately, because they were just piling up all over the house. It was getting a little too much. But the other thing that I was trying to figure out is, okay, so if I'm not doing a one topic channel where I'm a talking head every week teaching you guys something or lecturing about some random ass thing, it sounds like it'd almost be more of a vlog channel, I guess. And I kind of just catch up with you guys and show you what I'm up to. And if there's something where I feel like I can make a tutorial out of it, or there's something you guys want to learn more about with it, then maybe I'll jump into kind of tutorial mode for a week or two. It might be a little mix of both until I figure out what the hell is going on here. By the way, what are you doing this weekend? I hate making videos, etc. I do my best not to be in them. I know. What is something that you have been wanting to do? Everything. I just I'll show you guys what I have been doing. A lot of my focus has been on my online shop for the last like 2 years, 3 years, I forget. I think I opened it in 2001, I think. And I've been making stuff for my shop. I actually brought some stuff in here to show you guys. Obviously you're rebuilding a classic car. Oh my god, I wish I'm not hugely handy with cars, like fixing them, but I learned how to do body work to a degree when I was younger. I used to do like Bondo work and stuff. So I've kind of got experience in a lot of really weird places. Um, but yeah, I brought some of the stuff in here to show you guys what I've been working on recently. I bought free shop. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. That's the thing too. Like while I'm getting this thing moving, support wise, if you guys are up for supporting, just watch, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to support beyond that, I have a Patreon account. It's in the description below, and I also have my Halloween shop. All that stuff's gonna help me keep this going while I get it going. But yeah, I'll share with you guys some of the stuff I've been making because oh my god, it's been taking up so much of my time, it's not even funny. The things that I've been working on right now, when the shop is slow because the economy is just freaking weird right now, but I mean, I can't even bond out. It's really not that bad. It's funny because I've noticed that a lot of the hobbies that have taken up kind of overlap. Vlogging might be a great idea for you in return for us. It keeps things fresh. Yeah, it might have to be a blog thing for now until I figure out what the hell I'm doing. And I'll try to figure out how to mix things in. And if, like I said, I hit a topic that you guys want to know more about, maybe I can make more of a tutorial on it. Or let's say I'm doing a lot of history stuff and you guys have an interest in that, maybe I could teach you how to research certain things. Oh, Halloween store is awesome. Thank you. As you guys know, because everybody's feeling it, the economy is ridiculous right now. So since things have slowed down, I'm trying to avoid buying too much new merchandise because it's just crazy. So while I've been doing that, tell me about this rebellious spirit thing with Dustin. I will. I'll get to that. Well, I don't know how much I can tell you. I'll tell you. Tell you a little bit. So while it's been slow, I decided to start making some of my own merch to sell in the shop. I've also been doing pre-sale shirts. So I'll show you those because I got a shipment of those in today. I ordered some early. You have a store? I do. It's called Wickedly Williams. It's all Halloween or spooky related stuff. I've been slowly working in some cryptid stuff. I've been slowly working into some paranormal stuff. But the main focus has been Halloween because I've been into Halloween since I was a kid. My mom's a Halloween nut. My grandmother was a Halloween nut. So it's kind of my way of doing something that, especially my grandma, I lost her in 2019. I thought it would be something that she would have really enjoyed too. So this week, this is what I've been doing. Bowl cozies. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these things, but you put your bowl in it, bowl of soup or whatever, you put it in the microwave, and it's just for reheating. You do not, is there a website to purchase your items? Yes, it's in the description for the video. I have a link to these. I have a link to a couple of the other things I'm going to show you, like directly there, and then I just have my website link. Remember your last live, you were having technical difficulties? Oh my god, it was so bad. I was talking about that earlier because I had it set up on my website and I didn't realize I couldn't just plug my webcam in and call it a day. You actually have to download like streaming software and all this stuff. So I was stuck and my internet at the time was way too slow for it. So I had everybody showing up and ready to go and I'm just like, I can't do anything. It sucked. Will you be coming to California anytime soon? I don't have plans at the moment to do that, but I live in Arizona, so I'm not too far away from you. Okay, so bowl cozies. This is what I've been doing this week. I've got ghosty, pumpkin-y ones. You put a bowl in it. You can put this in the microwave, but it's more for reheating. You don't want to fully cook something in this because even though it's 100% cotton, so that it shouldn't catch on flames, God forbid, it's still, you don't want to have it in for long periods of time, but it saves your hands from heat and cold. Bowl of ice cream, bowl of soup, whatever. I grabbed one of those from a vendor in Lone Star Paranormal. They are awesome, right? So I did a ghosty pumpkin. I love this. I love all these patterns. And I've got this crazy rainbowy kind of Halloween thing. I've only got 2 of each of these patterns up right now. I've got these sugar skulls. I like this one. And I've got this, I like this one too. It's like old school, vintagey kind of Halloween pumpkins and owls. And then I've got another sugar skull one. So those are the ones I got up right now. And then the other thing I've been working on, I only got 4 done. I've got a bunch of other patterns I want to do. Are these keychains, these fobs. I did the owl ones, the vintage style ones. I've gotten the bowl cozies too. And then these ones I don't have as bowl cozies, but they're all like candy, Halloween candy. And I'm going to be working in a bunch more of these. So those have been a lot. My mother has a Christmas one. Yeah, they're great. The bigger project that I did during Christmas was I was making totes, and those were a bitch. They were such a bitch to make, but I really like how they came out. So I've got these on there as well in the description. I've got the links to these. I've got this one, which is denim, black denim with nightmare pattern. And I felt like this pattern was so busy, it was a little too much. That's why I've only got it on the outside pocket, but then I did the inside too. So I kind of patched it like I did the outside. So I've got 2 of those, I think, or 1 of those left. Technically 2, but I was supposed to drop one off at a store in Phoenix. I've got my stuff in a Halloween store out here. And then I did this one, which is a mix of Christmassy peppermint candy and Jack. So, oh, it could totally be a man bag. Absolutely. I won't judge you too hard. That is that. So those are a few of the things I made for the shop because, like I said, I don't want to buy too much merch right now because it's just been crazy slow. Everybody's just hurting. The economy's insane. So kind of is what it is. But then the other thing I've been doing with my shop is I've been doing pre-sale shirts. The thing with the pre-sale shirts is when you buy shirts as a small business, you have to buy a shit ton of sizes, right? Small through 3X. And you need several pieces in each size. Have you done any drawing or live painting sessions? I haven't yet, but I mean, that's something I could look into doing something eventually. Yeah, my side gig has been real slow. Yeah, everybody's hurting. Like my shop was doing really well, and then end of last year, October was kind of dead, which it's a Halloween shop. It shouldn't have been dead. November was slow. December was like a train wreck. I was just like, what in the hell is happening right now? But anyways, shirts have always been a struggle to stock because as a small business, like I said, you have to stock a bunch of different sizes. And let's say a company has a shirt, but they have it available in a bunch of different colors. Like I can't afford to get all the colors and all the sizes. So what I started doing is a pre-sale in the store. I'll find shirts that I like myself that I'd want to wear. And then I see if the company will be willing to work with me on a pre-sale. Then I open it up for like 2 weeks. And once the 2 weeks is up, I submit the order and in everything goes. So then I ship it out as soon as I get it. Have you ran into any paranormal activity since Ghost Hunters? Since Ghost Hunters? I don't think so. I haven't been looking for it as like on a regular basis though either. I used to have stuff happen a lot when I was little, or just like random things happen. I can testify that everything I've ordered has been fantastic. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, thank you. I got some of the, so I'm going to show you the pre-sale stuff that I have up now. And then after that, we can just jump into some random questions. Because these, I'm going to stop the pre-sale on the 7th. And it's this company that does all like ghost themed stuff. Well, they do other stuff too, but I like all their ghost stuff. So they do beanies, which is this little guy. He's kind of fun. So they've put this on beanies, they've put them on hats, they've put them on hoodies. And the hoodies, this is the first time I've ordered them because like I said, I did it on a pre-sale. So these are some of you guys' orders, and they'll be going out soon. I hit the minimum purchase, so I ordered it right away so I could get it out to people sooner. And here, oh, this is cute. This is my first time seeing these too. Oh, I love this. I gotta order myself one. See a little Hartley ghost. This is a girl's hoodie, a fleece. Doesn't have anything on the back. It's just a little embroidered ghost on the front. But there's matching beanies for this too. So that's kind of fun. And then there's hoodies without the hearts for the guys. And there's a bunch of colors, and there's crew necks that have the same little ghost without the hearts. The hats, I've got the hats in like, they're available in like 22 different colors. This is what I mean about pre-sale. I can offer everything. It's not like, here's this one hat and this one color. Like it or don't like it. So we got a nice little blue one. I love this. Love it, love it. I want to see the crew neck or one of the guys' hoodies really quick, and then we can jump into some. Ooh, oh, the military green one. Okay, here's one of the guys. One of the guys' sizes. So if you guys have ordered one of these already, they're already in. I'll be mailing them out on Monday, way earlier than expected. Because like I said, as soon as I hit their purchase minimum, I put it in so that you guys wouldn't have to wait. So here's one of the guys' hoodies. And the little ghost guy. He's cute. So yeah, hoodies, crew necks, beanies, and hats, either in the just the ghost or the ghost with the hearts. Pre-sales are fun stuff. All right, can you get them customized? I can't get them customized. I mean, I probably could, but the problem is when I make an order from these guys, I have to hit a purchase minimum. So some companies, it's like you have to order $150 worth of product. Some it's like you have to order $300 worth of product. So if I have somebody make an order for one being customized, I don't know how that would go over. I really don't know. They're a big enough company that I've been able to just get away with the pre-sales without having to bug them too much. But I worked with a couple other smaller places like me. Is the hoodie lightweight? Yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's, yeah, it's not super thick. It's really soft inside actually. This is the first time I've ordered the hoodies. I didn't even know they had ghost ones until like a week ago when I posted them. I was trying to find some new stuff. I'm gonna have to order one of these for myself. That's the fun part about having a Halloween shop. If you like weird shit, you could just get an extra one for yourself. I like that gray sweatshirt. This one's actually like a military green, but there's gray ones up there too. The hoodies are in a stupid amount of colors, and the hats are like, there's over 20 colors to choose from when it comes to the hats. All right, questions outside of my shop stuff. What were you guys asking me? Somebody was asking me about what I'm doing with Dustin. I can't go into the full details because we're still working it out. But this is what I like, because I looked at it as, Chris, are you going to be on any upcoming TV shows? No plans at the moment. No plans. But you never know. We'll see. Right now, I'll be harassing you guys here, hopefully on a more consistent basis. But with Dustin and I have been kicking around this idea for a long time, and we really liked the Rebellious Spirits title, and we kind of have an idea of how we want to tackle it, but to be a little tease and put up a little logo or banner or just a little teaser to see how people responded. And you guys went bonkers. It was like, oh, Chris and Dustin, Dustin and Chris, what are they doing? They're working together. Oh, if you're both doing something, I want to see it. I was amazed by the comments and how much interest there was. So we like you being here. Where that well, I'm warped as well, so you're in good company and you've come to the right place. We'll be warped together. But yeah, so we've just been kind of playing around with the idea, and it could be a podcast, it could be something we take on the road ourselves, maybe here on YouTube, I don't know. We're still working out the details. We kind of want to work on a lecture to do together. We're starting to put that together. It's still growing. It's still being worked on. I will let you guys know as soon as I know more. We should be putting a little bit more information out there in the next week or two. I think we kind of just put that out there because we're both like, all right, we got to do this. We got to get it going. We've been talking about it for too long. We haven't been doing. The thing that I do like about it though is because I don't really want my channel here to be like full stop ghost channel. No hate against the ghost stuff. It's just there's so many other things that I'm into. Um, I like the idea that there could be another place that I could go and talk more ghost stuff, but with Dustin, because him and I have been really good friends. I actually met him through the show. I didn't know him before the show. He had known Jane Grant for a long time. We had never met each other. Where in AZ are you? I'm up in Payson. I'm in the West Valley. Sounds good. You guys were great together at Melbourne. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I mean, Dustin and I, we've stayed close friends this whole time. Close enough that he was actually our, what do you call it, officiant or whatever at a wedding. He was that for my ex-husband and I, so pretty close. We talk on a almost daily basis, so we really wanted to do something together and just something we could have fun with that wasn't too serious. Shoot the shit, share some stuff, and just have some fun with it. But we'll see how it goes. What was that? Surprise, and you are a Mustang girl. I am. I wasn't always. I'll be honest. The Mustangs were ugly as sin in the 80s. Although the 80s destroyed a lot of cars. A lot of cars. They pulled all the curves out of everything, which I hated so much. I love like late 60s to late 70s Vets and Transams and all that stuff. Cross country tour, that would be fun. Are you a wine, beer, or liquor person? Wine, but I don't drink very often, and cocktails. I don't drink beer. It's disgusting. Ask him about drinking Big Red. That sugar. Sure, he is a sugar fiend. I'm horrible with sugar. I'm awful with sugar. I could eat sugar all day, every day, all the time. I think he is worse than I am. I know you like Vanilla Ice. What? 69 Fire Red? Oh, cool. I think my dad's got a late. He's got, I don't know if it's 60. Is it a 69? 67? He's got a convertible Firebird. It needs a lot of work, but it's going to be awesome. I met you, Jay Grant, Steve, and Dave at Trans Allegheny. That would have been a long ass time ago. Long time ago. So that would have been an event, and I haven't done one there in forever. I can't remember the last time I was back there. Was it like 2009, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. It was a long time ago. You guys asked me so many questions earlier. I'm trying to remember some of the ones you were hit me for. Worst years for vets as well. Oh god, yeah, they were not cute in the 80s. I know throughout the years chatting with you, I remember you having similar taste in music, movies. What are you interested in watch? What have you listened? I'm a classic rock girl. I always have been, always will be. My top 4: The Doors, Zeppelin, Beatles, Floyd. I can listen to them all day, every day, and not get sick of them, especially The Doors. I had made a trip in 2011 by myself to Paris, and I went to see his grave. And I went there because I had found out that 2 of the band members were playing a show there, and they brought in 2 people from other tribute bands to play Morrison and Densmore, and it was freaking awesome. It was such a good time. I really wanted to go back for the 50th, but COVID kind of screwed everything up, so I wasn't able to get back there, but I hope to get back there again eventually because it was just such an awesome experience, and so many people went. Like, I can't imagine being dead for 40 years and people still giving a shit about me. I just can't wrap my head around that. And that many people. Let's see. Is it difficult to date when people know you from Ghost Hunters? Dating was a nightmare. it was an absolute nightmare. Trying to keep a relationship together was impossible. It was absolutely impossible because we were at the time when I was on Ghost Hunters full time, we were on the road for 300 days a year. We were away a lot. So meeting anybody was really tough. If we did meet somebody, typically they didn't live in our home state, which we were never there anyways, so it didn't really matter. But then it was just like trying to make time to see the person and catch up with the person and build a relationship with somebody you just met. It was impossible. It was a real pain in the ass. That was actually one of the many reasons why I jumped out, because I really wanted a personal life. Um, but yeah, it was tough. Actually, I can share one hellish date I had with you guys that like it was super embarrassing. So I was on Ghost Hunters. I was talking to one of our producers and we're just talking about dating in general. And I was like, oh, it's so hard to meet anybody. And like, the whole thing is just so weird. Fondest memory of Meatloaf. All right, I'll jump to that right after this. Just don't let me forget, because I will forget. Um, so he convinced me, he's like, listen, we're going on a break for 3 weeks. In a couple of weeks, why don't you go on a dating site? You got 2 weeks to kind of chat people up. And if you find anybody interesting, then you can go out on a few dates with them while you're home. And I was just like, hello, New Hampshire. 35 degrees. Good Lord. It does get the cold here too, surprisingly. But yeah, so I was like, I don't know if I want to do a dating site. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, I'll be fine. So I was like, all right, fine. So I signed up on a few of them. Started talking to a couple guys. There was this one guy out of Boston. I was chatting with him. So not my type, and not in a bad way, just not somebody I typically would have gone for. But our conversation was really good and we got along really well. So I was just kind of like, we'll see where this goes. So we decided we meet up for dinner, and we're going to this place in Burlington, Mass. Dating is hard these days. Yeah, dating's not fun. So we met up at this place at Burlington, Mass that had a bar and restaurant, and we figured we'd start with a drink, and if the drink went okay, we'd have dinner. If the drink didn't go okay, we'd just be straight with each other and like we go our separate ways, right? So we go, we have a drink, it went fine. No awkwardness, no weirdness, no silent pauses. So we decided to have dinner. Now, you gotta understand, when I was on the dating site, I had my first name, I didn't have my last name. I used photos that were not online anywhere, like nowhere to be found online. I didn't mention what I did for work. I kept it all very into hobbies and like that sort of thing. And luckily, he never really asked me. I'm 42. I've been single most of my life. Dating's hard. Yeah, I hear you. 43 here. I met somebody last year. We're hitting a year in March, which has been going really good. So that's been a nice change. So anyways, we decide we're gonna have dinner after we have a drink. And it was funny because, like I said, I didn't mention what I did for work. I didn't mention my last name, none of that in my profile. None of it. I didn't need to attract anyone too strange. And it's almost like people don't give you a chance. They know you from the show, but they don't actually know you. So then they've got this like preconceived idea of who you are, but you're not necessarily that. Like it's a smidgen of who you are. So it's dating was just a bitch. So anyways, we're having dinner, getting along just fine, chatting along just fine. I don't know this long lost cousin situation. I don't know what you're talking about, Frito. I don't. You messaged me this morning, but I didn't know what you're talking about. So we're having dinner. Things are going fine. Again, wasn't my typical type, but again, we're getting along great. So I wasn't about to like brush him off. And he's like, when I have time to watch TV, I like watching horror movies and I like watching shows like Ghost Hunters and this show and that show and the other show. And I'm sitting there, as soon as he said Ghost Hunters, I'm like, In my head, I'm like, has this guy been effing with me the whole time? Like, has he known the whole freaking time? And he hasn't said a thing to me about it? Is he just kind of playing along? Like, what, what is going on? I was so confused. So as soon as he stopped talking, he's like, so what do you like to watch? And I go, well, when I'm not on the road shooting ghost hunters, I like watching X, Y, and Z. He stopped breathing for like half a second. He started turning purple. Then he started shaking. And he goes, oh my God. Oh my God, I told my friend you're in my top 5. You're in my top 5. And I'm thinking, I better be freaking number 1. But I was so humiliated. I was so embarrassed. He's freaking out. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, what have I done? Like, he honestly could not have known. With his reaction, the man was purple. He stopped breathing. And then he started hyperventilating. And I'm sitting there like, I don't even know what to do right now. I wanted to slip under my table and die. Patty! Hey! Did the date get awkward after? Yeah, it kind of died. Like, that was when the date died. It was just number 1 or nothing, damn straight. I was just sitting there like, holy what the frig? I did not see that coming. And then I realized really quickly he was not screwing with me. He honestly didn't know. And then I'm like, how does he watch the show all the time? But he has no idea. But at the same time, if you're not expecting to be hanging out with, yes, it can tell he rings a bell. I was just like, it was just weird. It was really, really weird. It was the whole thing. And do you know how, like, when you meet somebody and you don't intend on talking to them again and you don't even mean to, you're just like, oh, it was good to meet you. It was like, we're in the parking lot and I was like, oh, it was good to meet you. Yep. I was like, mentally, I checked out because I'm a pretty shy person. I'll be honest. I'm not somebody who is just like, oh my God, I'm just so awesome. So to have him freak out on that level in a public place. And then it was just kind of like, can I get this man to see me as anything else now? It was really weird. And I was kind of embarrassed. And I wanted to die on the spot. I'll be honest. I couldn't bring myself to talk to him again. He sent me a text later and he's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for freaking out like that. And I didn't answer him. I felt bad, but I didn't. Yeah. Then I had people on dating apps that were like, you look really familiar. I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Meeting people in person from TV is unique. People do look a bit different in person. Yeah, they do. And again, if they're outside of the space that you're seeing them in, I guess I could see why you would miss it. You ghosted him? I did. He got ghosted by a ghost hunter. But I've been ghosted. My last round is single round. That was fun. I don't know what the frick happened, but that's okay. I've done it to people. They do it to me. You left him hanging so sad. I couldn't help it. It was so humiliating. It was so embarrassing. I couldn't bring no, I just couldn't. He was nice. He's a nice guy, but it was just a little too much for me. A little too much. Okay, so somebody asked me about Meatloaf earlier. Here's my Meatloaf story. I got to work with him the first time he came out. We were in New York and he was awesome. He was friggin' hilarious. And I remember the morning before the investigation, we're all sitting out in the parking lot, minus him. He didn't come out yet. And we're all standing in this big circle. It was like us hunters and it was our crew. Usually when a guy's when he squeals, it's a good pet sign. Yeah, it was a little much. He totally fangirled in front of me, and I was just like, what is happening right now? What is happening? He was really nice. Definitely nothing against him. My luck, like, he'll end up watching one of these and be like, that bitch. But yeah, no, he was really nice. I can't even say he was a bad guy. The whole thing really freaked me out. But yeah, so we were all in a parking lot. we are talking about the day, we're talking about the investigation ahead, we're talking about like what we knew of the history because we didn't dig into it too much before we investigated. We're talking about how we wanted the night to go. Um, talking about how was this location was on an island and it was full of spiders, which was my biggest freaking nightmare and Steve's nightmare. And they were descending from everything when we got there. It was awful. Um, but yeah, and we're all just like nervous and we're excited to meet him because he hadn't come out yet. So Audi comes from his room with his wife, and we're all sitting in a circle, kind of watching, kind of doing our little fangirl moment, right? But trying to act cool. And he watched GH and thought, man, that, oh my God. Oh, you're as bad as Steve with spiders. Yes, but Steve made me kind of brave because I like pointing them out to him to freak him out. And then I thought that was hilarious. I just didn't let him know until long after the fact. I didn't like them either because I didn't want him like pointing them out to me. I'm evil like that. And yes, so we're standing in our circle. We're waiting for him to come out. Oh, he comes with his wife and he's walking over to our little huddle, right? So he goes running over. He was like a little kid. He goes running over to Jason and Grant, and he's like, "Oh, Jason Grant! Oh, big hugs!" So I'm watching this like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then he's like, "Oh, Steve and Tango! Oh, no, no, no!" Big hugs for them. And I'm like, "Oh my God, Drew! Hey you!" And then he ran over to Amy. He's like, big hugs. And then he goes to the side of the circle, like with all of us. And he's like, oh, he forgot me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then I hear, where's the other one? And then I stuck my head out and he's like, there she is. And he goes running over, big hug. And I'm just standing there like, holy shit. I'm getting a hug from Meatloaf, like bat out of hell. Like, this is awesome. Fight Club. Like, this is wild. So he goes back to the circle. We all start talking about the day, like what we're going to do. And then we all start loading up into the cars to head over to the location. And Jay had told me, he's like, listen, you're going to ride over with Jay Grant, Meatloaf, and his wife and I. And I was like, okay. So we're walking to the car and I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, okay, we're not going to ask him about Fight Club. We're not going to ask him about Rocky Horror. We're not going to ask him about like, I was going through all these things of like all these things I was going to leave him alone about. We jump into the Yukon and instantly he's like, Chris, do you remember that time that you were in Fort Mifflin and you were in that underground thing? And I'm just looking at him like, and I'm thinking, holy shit, he's doing it to me. He's totally doing this to me. It was so weird. He was definitely a fan of the show. He was so into it. He was absolutely 100% into it. Like sometimes you'd get guests and they were just like, we're here. They didn't really believe in it. They weren't into it, but they were there. He was all in. Like he knew what all the equipment did. He wanted to use all of the equipment. He was only supposed to investigate as far as I know with Jane Grant and then I think the boys. But then he insisted that he went out with Amy and I, which I thought was awesome. Who would you absolutely fangirl over? I kind of fangirled over him, but I was being kind of cool about it because I go kind of quiet. I go kind of quiet or I laugh. When I'm nervous, I laugh. He was a great man. You could see it in his body. Like he was so funny. He was so freaking funny. And like the next day he ended up bringing us all to this go-kart place and he rented out a bunch of go-karts and pun intended and not intended, this man went like a bat out of hell. I swear to God, he probably spent half his life on go-karts because he killed all of us. It was ridiculous. But it was really cool. He was just so nice. He was just so into it. He was so sincere. He was just like a little kid in a candy shop. And he was probably like one of my favorite people that was a guest on the show. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Hello, Rose from Australia. Just scrolling back real quick to see who I missed. Always felt bad at laughing at Steve Spider. Yeah, but it was kind of fun. It was fun showing him the spiders. I couldn't help it. Did you know Meatloaf was one of The teens in the photo of JFK arriving in the hospital after. No. Were you in that episode when Dave stunk up the bathroom and Steve almost? Oh dear God. It. I don't know if it's the same episode, but yeah, that happened when I first started. We were working in I think it was a uh, baby store, and I think it was out in like Washington State or San Francisco somewhere. It was definitely Northwest. Um, but yeah, Tango had to use the bathroom, and it made I don't know if it made the show or if it made like some of those funny cuts they put online afterwards, and he just completely bombed it. And there was reports of activity in that bathroom. So there was no way around not going in there, but not only was there no way of not going in there, like we weren't given a heads up. So we walked in and it just freaking reeked. It was nasty. And we couldn't stop laughing. So yeah, it was pretty gross. But it was hilarious. And there used to be a link to it. Sci-Fi used to put in all these like funny little cuts that didn't make the show on their website, and I remember that was one of them. So yeah, he gassed us out pretty hard. It was funny though. We gave him a hard time for that one for a while. All right. I like that you came to my city, Springfield, Massachusetts, when you guys investigated Theodore's. I remember that one, and I remember it because of the skeleton. It's not very often you go to a place and there's a skeleton in it. You couldn't stop laughing at Steve. Yeah. Oh my God, I did Casemate 11 at Fort Mifflin by myself and about crap my pants when I got an EVP. My daughter just got married there in October. Oh, that would be an awesome place to get married. Fort Mifflin is one of my favorite places. I personally didn't have an experience there that I can remember. But I loved it. It was just beautiful. The history was insane. The stories that came out of the place. And then I'm kind of a weirdo in that I have a very active imagination. And I remember standing in the middle of Fort Mifflin, and they had told us 1,000 cannonballs an hour were going over the walls. Did you read Steve's book yet? I'm working on it. He did send me one. I started working on it. I've enjoyed what I've read so far. It's funny because I'm learning a lot about Steve that I did not know. How he got into it. His whole horror movie obsession when he was a kid. That was kind of fun. Him talking about his idols and meeting them and everything else in the ghost world. I think the funny thing with this is that he was like fangirling over the Warrens. And I can't say that I was fangirling over him because I had just met him really when I got pulled into the whole mess. But I really looked up to him because he was so hard on everything, and I really liked that and respected that about him. So he's kind of like my version of the Warrens. I obviously knew who they were growing up, watching Unsolved Mysteries and all these other crazy shows. My parents always liked the ghost shows, so I very much knew who they were. But I didn't really get into the paranormal. I was more of the history nerd. So yeah, he was kind of it for me, him and Jane Grant. So it was kind of funny working with him and just seeing how hard he was on everything. But that's what made me respect the field that much more, because the last thing I wanted was to have wool pulled over my eyes. So I really liked the fact that he was so hard on things. I feel I have to apologize. Oh my God, you have no reason to apologize for that. Holy hell. Hopefully you're okay. That's crazy. I'd say Steve's book's worth getting. I know he's my friend, so you guys are gonna be like, well, of course you're gonna say that. But I'm weird with books. Either I pick them up and I blow right through them and kind of an easy read and they're an enjoyable read, or I have good intentions and I like the subject matter, but I don't really get too far into it. His has been an easy read and I've really enjoyed it so far. So I would suggest grabbing it. Gives you a better insight on him, how he got started, how he looks at the field. And it's just fun. He's told some stories in there that I got a kick out of, and I don't want to give them away, so you'll have to get it yourself. Let's see. Loved it on Audible. Cool, cool, cool. The staff at Fort Mifflin are awesome. They are. They're fantastic. Oh, that's what I was saying. So I was standing in the middle of Fort Mifflin, and they were talking about how 1,000 cannonballs an hour used to come over the walls during the Revolution. And it's like I can stand there and almost imagine it in my head. I can almost picture it in my head. And it was kind of terrifying, the idea of it, because it's not a huge fort, you know? So to try to wrap your head around being there while it was happening, it must have been complete and utter chaos. I don't know. Complete and utter chaos. That's all I can picture. But it's beautiful. So much history there. I got back there somewhat recently. Was it last year or the year before? It might have been the year before. I was helping my mom move west. So we stopped at who was the Cannonball counter? I know. Right? I wondered that too. But did you say cannonballs or cannibals? No, they were throwing cannibals, you know. So not only do you have to worry about getting hit by the cannibal, you also have to worry about being their dinner afterwards, and that really sucked. That cannonballs. Balls. David! Hey! I'm so glad you're doing well. I'm still kicking. I'm still out here causing trouble. Doing my best to be a pain in the ass whenever I can. It's a good time. In your opinion, what was that? In your opinion, of the other paranormal shows that are out there, and have you met any of them? I don't, I don't really give opinions on other shows because I don't watch them, to be honest. The only paranormal show that I used to enjoy watching because of the storytelling was A Haunting. I just liked the stories. I wasn't watching it for, is it real? Is it not real? Is it whatever? For me, it was just entertainment. Outside of that, I can't really say I've watched many, if any. I've seen bits and pieces. My parents are really into watching all of them, so I've seen some others, but yeah. I have met quite a few people from other shows. It's hard not to. We're all on the same crazy level. And we do events together. So I've got a lot of good friends that are on other shows. I've been on other shows, but I couldn't really say what it's like to work on their shows, and I don't really watch any paranormal shows. So I don't think I'd be a good judge on that one. Have you ever done an investigation in North Carolina? I'm pretty sure it was a battleship that we did there, wasn't there? I think, if I remember correctly. Hello, Pennsylvania. Hello, William. Guys are pain in the asses are fun. Damn straight. Hey, kid. You guys should do San Diego Comic Con. I don't know if the show ever did Comic Con San Diego. I know I went there once. I went there with Amy. I had a friend who worked for Stan Lee, and he was able to get us passes to get into it. I never did meet Stan Lee, unfortunately. But my friend was nice enough to get us passes from, like, a couple of the employees couldn't make it, so he gave us theirs. It was awesome. It was such a good time. That event was nuts. So I wasn't there, like, appearing. I was just there to hang out, and it was so much fun. All the places you visited, did you get time to check out the town or other things during off time? It kind of depended on where we're going. Sometimes we did, and sometimes we didn't. I know that after a while we get weekends off while we're on the road because it was just so flat out during the week. So that was great because when that happened, we would explore quite a bit. We'd take like tours of the city, boat tours, that sort of thing. We'd go to shows, we might go to a play. We started getting into the habit, some of us, of going to baseball games because I enjoyed going to them, but I also like seeing how different each stadium was. It's really interesting how each stadium kind of like showcases their city in some way or another. So I really enjoyed that. Um, but we do what we can. It just depended because, like, when I got thrown over to, ever thought of just carrying Sherry around in your hip pocket? I probably could. I probably could do that. um, but yeah, when I got thrown over to GHI, it was a lot crazier. So we could be in a place and we're just there. We're in the location. We're working. We're in the hotel. We're out. Um, because there was so much travel to get to one place to another, there was really not a whole lot of opportunity to screw around. But there were a few cases where we would end up with time, as far as like, there was one trip where we started off in Scotland and we got a crazy snowstorm. They said it was the most snow they'd gotten in like 30 years. So all of our flights got canceled and we were supposed to go from there to Puerto Rico. And when we got to Puerto Rico, the customs people, I guess, took all our gear. So our gear was tied up in customs for 4 days. So we're like, woo, vacation in Puerto Rico because we couldn't work. We couldn't get any of our crap that we needed to film. So we kind of had a 4 day off and we went hiking in the rainforest and we went to the beach and we're staying in this hotel that also had a casino. So it was fun. That trip was fun. But most of the time we're in, we're out. If we did anything, it was like hitting a bar because our hours are so weird. Usually that would be the only thing that was open by the time we're done working for the night. Happy accident. A very well welcomed happy accident because being stuck anywhere for 4 days, Puerto Rico was a good one. I always wondered when ghost hunters were on the road seeing how the logo will be able to come up to you guys. Wait, what? Hold on. Always wondered when ghost hunters were on the road seeing there's a TAPS logo on the vehicles. Did people come by and crowd around? So I think when I started, they put the TAPS logo on a magnet so they could stick it to the side of the van when we're working, and then they would take it off while we're driving around. Because yeah, the van kind of stood out like a sore thumb. There was one episode, and I don't know if it actually made the episode, but I know it was a thing Sci-Fi put on their website at the time, where Steve and Tango were driving and they were trying to talk to us like we're all giving each other the rundown of the place we're going to. And I think a cop was beeping and like giving them a thumbs up. So they were laughing about that. So people would notice. I know that when we were working in New Hampshire, my little home state, in Manchester, somebody got the word out and we had like 50 people standing outside, which made it really difficult to work because it was just so loud. And obviously, we're trying to keep contamination from outside not coming in and being picked up on our recorders. And we ended up going inside the front part of the theater, and we had people literally like looking through the blinds outside. It was crazy. It was crazy, crazy. Sinks and faucets. I don't know what you mean. But yeah, it could be bonkers. Most of the time, you could kind of just get away with not being noticed too much. And then every now and then you get noticed in really random freaking places that were kind of embarrassing. But I don't know. We shall see. It's a joke. Gotcha. I just didn't catch it, that's all. I didn't catch it. If you ever go back to Scarefest in Kentucky, I'll travel from Manchester. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been there for a few years. Last time I was there, I had this woman that was in my face. Oh my god, was it scary? Nobody moon the people trying to look through the lines. No, surprisingly, nobody did. Yeah. What was it that we were just talking about? So this is what happens. I'm on a path and then I read something and it's like squirrel. It's like, great to see you too, Missy. What were we talking about? I had it. I had it for like 5 seconds and my brain just went, keys. We're talking about keys? I don't think we're talking about keys. You're talking about being recognized. Oh, recognized. Okay. Here's a story. You guys might think I'm an asshole for this one. I don't know. Again, typically shy and typically quiet. Typically. Unless I know somebody really well, then I'm usually kind of quiet. And I was traveling by myself and I looked like a hot mess. It was like tights and a big old t-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever, hoodie. Hair is a freaking mess. I don't give a shit when I travel. I look like a wildebeest. I just don't care. Um, yeah. So I was traveling to wherever we're going. What I don't know if I was going to an event. We're filming or something. And for some reason, I had to fly, which typically I didn't. Typically, I was driving with everybody else. But for this one reason, whatever reason, I was flying, and I was sitting at the gate, and there was a family sitting across from me. It was like a husband and wife and two teenage kids, a boy and a girl. And I was just reading my book and I heard, "Are you Chris Williams?" And I looked up and I'm like, "No." And I went back to reading because I'm by myself. I've had some scary situations out by myself with people who recognize me from the show, like scary situations. And you never know which way people are going to go with you. And I was by myself and I look like shit. And usually what happens is people recognize you when you look like shit and they want pictures and then they put pictures up online of you looking like shit. And it sucks. So I know I lied. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I did. I lied. So I was like, no. And I went back to reading my book and I heard the father go, "She's lying." And I'm like, oh shit. So I like quietly got up and I like moved a couple seats and that was the end of that. But yeah, it freaked me out a little bit. I usually run into hot people when I look like shit. That's usually the way. Yeah. Yeah, I was busted. I was so busted. Not only was I noticed, I got caught lying. It was a double whammy. Totally makes sense to lie. Well, I mean, I don't lie all the time. I do remember one time though, we were at some fast food place and I had just started with the show, so nobody knew who the hell I was. But I was sitting with Steven Tango and I think somebody from our crew, and everybody's just eating. And this kid comes over, he's like, "Oh my God, ghost hunters, da 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 da." And again, I was not familiar with any of this. I just started. And Steve's like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Are you on the show? Are you on the show?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And he looks at me, he's like, "Are you on the show?" I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "Oh." And then Steve was like giving me the hairy eyeball. I was like, I can get away with it right now. I don't think any of the episodes I was on aired yet, so it was a lie, but it wasn't a bad one. There's always a time and place for meet and greets. I feel privacy is also important, especially if you're having meal. The meal is the worst. The meal is the worst, especially when you're at events. Like people, when you go to events, you're there all weekend with everybody. And I am so game to talk to everyone and hang out with everyone and answer. I don't even care if I hear the same question 20 times. I'm going to answer it all 20 times. I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. I'm happy to be there. The only time I get grumpy is when I'm sitting there and I'm eating and I'm like, dude, we're here all weekend. Can I just please just stuff my face for 5 seconds, please? Or they take pictures of you from their table while you're eating and you're like, and all the pictures, and it's like, it makes you super paranoid and then you don't want to eat. It's really weird. I don't know. People are usually pretty damn cool. Lying to kids. No, I was lying to the father. The kids just happen to be bystanders. To a kid, you monster. That's why I stay grumpy. Problem solved, yes. Well, I mean, I don't lie all the time. Although I did lie to a lady at the DMV recently. It was the first time I got noticed in forever. Steve came into my work at Home Depot in Massachusetts, and I didn't bother him though. I just let him do his thing. See, none of us would get upset if you guys said hello. That's really not a drama. I mean, you might have me lie to you, but for the most part, we're all pretty friendly. I think where I get weird is when I'm by myself because I had a really bad thing happen in DMV. Oh man, it's getting worse and worse. Yeah. I had these two guys. Okay. Oh, this is what led to me lying, okay? I was flying into Philadelphia for an event at Eastern State. And I stupidly put on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, like, oh, just left whatever airport, headed for, Philadelphia. And these kids were able to figure out, not even kids, these guys, they were probably like my age or older. They were able to figure out what flight I was on. And I don't even understand how they're able to do it. But as soon as, please tell me you carry something on you and you're, you can't always, like, you can't carry things on planes though, so it's just, so I don't know how they're able to get to security to be at my gate. They didn't have tickets. It didn't make sense. So I just get off the flight again, looking like a freaking swamp monster. And Chris Curly, am I eating 10 plates of dinner? You're awful. I've known Steve for years, and when I see him, I just do the buddy hello thing and leave him unless he wants to chat. Steve's a good egg. He's usually up for a chat. Okay, so I just get off the plane looking like I crawled out of a swamp. And these two tall guys um come rushing at me, right? And they've got stuff in their hands and they were towering over me. So I didn't know who they were. One, two, they rushed at me. Three, they're putting things in my face like, here, sign this, here, do this, here, take a picture, here, here, here. And it was very aggressive to the point I didn't feel safe, like not even a little bit safe. And they're very pushy. And I told him, what did I say? He's like, oh, something about taking a picture. And I was like, something about taking a picture. And I was like, I gotta go. I've got somebody who's picking me up. And he's like, oh, it'll only take a second. And I'm like, I gotta leave. And he was just being really rude. He was really pushy. I'm like yelling at him while he's got his arm around my shoulders, taking a picture. He's still throwing pictures in my face. I scribble on them, like, didn't even look like my signature. Finally get away from them. I couldn't find security. And I go to the event. I figure that's the end of that. And oh, they said like they were getting mad at me because I wasn't being friendly enough at the airport, even though they're scaring the shit out of me. And they're like, we drove 10 hours to be here. And I'm like, it's a freaking airport. Nobody asked you to drive 10 hours to harass me as soon as I get off at the gate. Like everything about this is stalkerish. It's not okay. So I go to the event, and who's at the event? They're in line waiting for me to sign some stuff. And I just looked at them and I go, no. Like, it pissed me off more because it's like, dude, if you knew you were going to the event, like, why would you do that to me at the airport? Like, you completely and utterly, that's the first, like, one of the few times I was, like, friggin' terrified on the road. And I was just pissed. And at that point at the event, I had people there to look out for me. So I was just like, no, like, F you. I'm not signing any of your shit. Like, I was pissed. And I remember yelling something at them, like, you did that to me at the airport yesterday and you're going to be here today? Like, what the fuck? I was mad. I was really, really mad. And then to make things worse, somebody sent me, it's understandable when you have to lie, certain situations, safety reasons, stalking, yeah. So then I find out that they put the pictures that they made me sign at the airport where I said I like literally scribble. It does not look like my name, and I did that on purpose because they pissed me off. They had them on eBay for 50 bucks a piece. I don't even sell my pictures for $50 a piece. I was just like, these people, they freaking, I guess they just stalk people. They work in any sort of TV show to scare the shit out of them, get some stuff signed, and then try to make money online. But yeah, after that, I started lying to people when I was out and about by myself, unless they really caught me off guard. And some people do catch you off guard, but usually people are pretty cool. Usually. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, seriously. Some people are kind of nutty. Most people are really, really cool, but it's just that 1% of wackos that really throw you off. And then after that, like you could have a normal person come up and say hello and then just be like, have you autographed things? And I've sold 0. I like to keep them. Like I said, we don't even sell our shit for 50 bucks. Like that's nuts. An old job of mine, I used to see pro athletes and celebrities frequently. Always had a rule, never ask them for autographs or ask them about what they do. Just talk to them like the regular guys. That's a good way to go about it. Because at the end of the day, we're no different. It is a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. And we're human. Like the job is just weird. So I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Some people are just a little too much. And you don't know when they're coming at you if they're going to be normal or they're going to be crazy. So I kind of just assume crazy until I have a reason to think otherwise. Heck, I would just want to hang out. They say, there we go. No, like I said, 99% of people are awesome, but there's just that 1% that scares the bejesus out of you, and then you start being a little hesitant or like precautious, I guess. Wait, you're human? I know, it's shocking. Actually, I'm an alien. It took me forever to put this face on. But yeah, I think people forget that sometimes. I don't know. So you guys are up for spaz mode on here? I'll just start throwing spaghetti at a wall and you guys will either like it or hate it. Because like I said, that was my problem on here with the starting. I'm like, here's a video. Here's a video. Same. I'd be wanting to pick your brain about all the historical places you visited. Did anyone just see that? Oh, it's dust. I'm sitting at my art table. There's shit all over it. You can't see, thank God, because it is a hot mess. I've got some art projects going on, and I will share them with you guys. One of them is a clay project, but I can't show it to you just yet because it's actually going to be a gift for somebody. But that one will be coming up soon. Woohoo! Spaz mode activate. Yes, go with spaz. I'll be good. People are scarier than ghosts. Yes, they are. My cat's name is Spaz. Every time you say that, her ears perk up. Spaz, 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 spaz. Hi, Chris from the UK. Hello over there. Good Lord, what time is it there? Do you ever talk to other cast members from other paranormal shows? I do. There's a lot of people, like a lot of us weirdos end up at the same events together. So we all get to know each other that way. I really don't watch other paranormal shows. It's not my thing. Like I was saying earlier, I used to be drawn to a haunting. Just I like the storytelling. I wasn't watching it for like, is this real or fake or whatever. I just liked watching it. But outside of that, yeah, I don't watch paranormal shows. So but I know a lot of people from them because we all hang out at events and usually have a pretty good time. Events are fun. Get all us wackos in one spot. Is Ancestry a reputable company? It is. Yeah, I actually worked for them for a little bit in the past. I worked for them for about a year. I was doing a lot of like content creation. I was doing videos and written articles about how to research, and I was sharing my experiences with researching and my family stories or just odd stories I found in general. They're really great resource. I personally, the one thing I wish I did not do is the genealogy, like DNA stuff. But I mean, that's any company. I wish I did not do it at all, ever, with any of them. It's too much. Like, it's just too much. It's too much information for any company to have, and all these companies end up getting bought out by other companies. So if you start off with one that you trusted and they get bought out by someone else, like years ago, I heard that Facebook was eyeballing one of the companies, and that company also had like a DNA database, and I just didn't. I didn't like it because Facebook already has too much information. So for them to have everybody's family information and all those records and the DNA on top of it just kind of freaked me out a little bit. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't have done that again. But they are great. Great source for records, easy to use. I've used them God. I think I started using them when I don't even think they're online yet. It was a magazine when I first started using them. You get stuff on discs. That's how old I am. Yay. um, and then once they had the website up and going, I was on it a lot. So I've used them for a long time. Um, how are you with paranormal movies? I enjoy them. I like horror movies in general. This goes back to my love of Halloween. Um, always been a Halloween nut. My mom is always big into watching horror movies, so that kind of rubbed off on us as well. I like paranormal horror movies, but I think what I don't like is people kind of have a hard time understanding that they're just movies. Like, I've never encountered anything that crazy hunting myself, but I think some people, like, people get so weird about Ouija boards. They get so weird about certain things, and it's because of some movie that they watched, or like they get hooked on the whole idea of demons, and it's like everything is demon talk now, which is just completely and utterly ridiculous. So I think that's where I get annoyed. I think entertainment wise, yeah, I freaking love them. I enjoy them quite a bit. I actually really liked all the Conjuring movies. Um, but I don't know. I like horror movies in general. Usually, and more thriller horror I like. I don't like butchery kind of horror movies. Those ones I just can't get into. I love scary horror ghost movies. Fair enough. Um, yes, Conjuring. Oh yeah, the demon craze is BS. It's total BS. Complete and utter bullshit. One of the delivery drivers at work tells me he won't watch some horror movies because he doesn't want demons entering his life. This is what I mean by cuckoo. It's a freaking movie. You'll be fine. Watch it, have fun. You'll live. You might have some nightmares over if you're a sissy, but you know, it's still fun to watch. I don't know. Seriously, it's still demons on some of the shows. Yeah, the demon stuff is nonsense. Speaking of Conjuring, has Ghost Hunters visited the Conjuring house? I'm not sure if they did it on the show, but I know that a lot of us go there. I haven't been there personally, but I know Dustin was there not long ago. I know Jay's been a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure his daughter Satori and Cody are there a lot. I feel like I don't know if they work there. I don't know what the deal is, but I know they're there a lot. So yeah, a bunch of us been. I haven't been. I had them reach out to me once and ask me if I wanted to swing through, but I was out here, so I couldn't. It'd be kind of cool to see it though. But yeah, no, I enjoyed those movies quite a bit. And I don't watch them to be like, oh my god, that's real. It's entertainment strictly for me. If you're a sissy, how do you really feel? I like to go to the Winchester House and Amityville. Yeah, I haven't been to either of those. Show idea for you, Chris. Tales from the Campfire. Show about old campfire tales and cryptids in the history where they came from. I know I'd watch. Met Lorraine and went to the house. It was amazing. Yeah, I haven't been. Never met Lorraine either. That would have been fun. But I harassed Zaphis a lot. And he was their nephew. So Zaphis is awesome. Really, really good guy. Really down to earth. And he will tell you what's what, which is what I love about him. He'll be like, demons? The demon craze is driving all of us nuts. Driving all of us freaking crazy. Some of us have had crazy experiences. I am not one of them. So that just tells you that after 4 years of looking for it every day, if there is something on a demonic level, it is not common. So it's like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of everybody talking about it like it's this common and current occurrence. And it's this normal freaking thing because it's not. It's just not. It's people looking for attention. They'd be throwing that shit around on a regular basis. Satori is the caretaker of the house. I thought so. I thought so. Yeah. I know she's talked about it quite a bit, and I wasn't sure what the role there was. I'd love to visit your website. Plans for updating. Yeah, I really need to get to it. And alien craze too. I know the alien stuff scares the shit out of me. Have you ever watched The Strangers? Oh my god, The Strangers. Not paranormal, but different. Yes, The People, right? And it's like loosely based off the Manson murders. It came out in like 2000, maybe 2001. That movie scared the ever living shit out of me. I loved it, but like I literally watched the thing like this. Yeah, scared the hell out of me. No, Karen, there's no demons in your Cheerios. Hi, Chris. See you at NJ Paracon. Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely say hello. I'm looking forward to that one. I've never been to it before. Have you guys gone? I've never been. I don't even know what. I mean, I say I don't know what to expect, but I'm assuming it's gonna be like a lot of the big ones. But I've never been, so I don't know. I don't know how they run it. I'm assuming it's a bunch of lectures and. Hold on. Project Fear just released their latest episode today. The Conjuring House with Satori. Oh, that's cool. Thoughts on fondant? Yes, no, sometimes. I love fondant, but it is super freaking fussy, and I don't like the taste of it. So I kind of usually eat around it. I like Penhurst better. Fair enough. I'm looking forward to going. Everybody's going to it. Should be a good time. And I know everybody I know that goes every year loves it. So I can't wait to check it out. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. It should be fun. Oh, all right. Let's see. Remember you saying one of the characters on Paranormal remind you one of the guys from Ghost Hunters? Yes. He looks like Dustin. I swear to God, they looked at Dustin and they're like, I know what we're going to do. And they just took him and made him into a teenage character. Swear to God. Look up Paranorman, look up Dustin Perry, and tell me that they didn't use Dustin as some sort of reference for their little cartoon. Because it looks exactly like him. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to jump off here. It's nearly been an hour and a half. Holy hell. I'm starving too. It's like 6:30 here. I haven't had dinner yet. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been really fun. Like I said, I will be here more consistently. It's going to be very freaking spazzy. You asked for it, so blame yourselves. I'm kind of glad you did because I didn't know how I was going to make sense of what was going on in my brain. So we'll just keep throwing things out and seeing what you guys like. And it might be kind of vloggy to start with some tutorials thrown in. We'll see how we go. Anyways, I hope you guys had a good time tonight chatting. Thank you for showing up. And I will be back soon with some content. And I might make a regular thing out of this, maybe every couple weeks. We'll see how we go until I get videos rolling on a more consistent basis. So I'll let you know. Until then, you guys have a great night, and I will bug you again soon. Thank you.